Rick, what's up? It's been a while. How are things?
Guys, how are you? A couple things I'd like to address before we start. First thing is, Paulie, you're good. My two buddies actually are the head of starter now. So we can hook that up. They're Cuse guys. You might have to swap some Cuse tickets for them, but you definitely can get a starter Tampa Bay Bucks pullover from Matt Dugan, who's the vice president of the place. That is a simple gift from Homer. He lives down in Florida. No worries. That's done. Secondly, the best ever is seeing my main man, Steve, go on a podcast the other day, and I got a chance to listen to it. Steve, well done, my friend. Well done. But, yeah, he was on a podcast. He's a podcast killer. And second,
it's a newer podcast out. Two folks that I know from Syracuse University are putting it together. And they asked me if I would be on it and share some tips and tricks to like my career path and how I got to where I was.
But you should promote things like that when you're.
See?
What's it called?
I will. At the end of this interview, I will give you I'll let you know how to find it.
Podcast.
You broke up, Rick. What'd you say?
I want to know why I'm not on that podcast.
Yeah, was that why you were sick for 2 days? Chat's got a good question. Did you fake sick so you could go be on a podcast?
No, I taped that like a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No. Did I fake sick? You heard me. No, I didn't fake sick.
So, boys, thank you,
Rick.
Don. It's lacrosse season. I'm excited. I just got a text this morning from his airness, Jordan, over there. So I was fired up to get it going.
Yeah, the new season starts. It's upon us here. So, you see the preseason rankings. You see Syracuse is picked second in the Inside Lacrosse poll. So many guys back from last year's team. What are your expectations, Rick, with this squad going into 2025?
Well, I think there's question marks, and I know you'll ask me about those. My expectations are simply always, and we've talked about this in the past, it's Syracuse, contending for national championships. And I think this year, according to what everybody said, maybe contrary to what the coaches think, I got a little sneak peek at the first coaches poll, and it was not favorable towards Syracuse, but I get to see those things that no one else gets to see. But I think it's, going to be a great season. It just depends on a couple question marks for me. And then that last tail end of the schedule is really hard. So there's a lot going into it. So we will soon see. I mean, like I said, my expectation is always in the Final Four.
From a personnel standpoint, they've got, I believe, 7 of their top 9 scorers from last year back. Everybody knows Joey Spallina. Who else are you looking at this year to have a really big season in Orange?
Well, the big thing for me is how will they run the offense? Will the offense go through 22? Will it start and finish through there? Will they run, Trey Deer at attack? Will he start? I mean, I heard the starters are Finn Thompson, Owen Hiltz, and Joey Spallina right now. She got 2 righties and a lefty. Obviously, Owen Hiltz has solidified himself as one of the, when he's on, he's one of the greatest finishers there is in this game. I just think that, offensively, I'd like to see a little bit more of the downhill Dodgers. How they handle that. They have great lacrosse players all over the place. It's can Syracuse be versatile enough offensively to, when defenses start to counter everything they do, can they be flexible enough to hit from different spots? And, so those are the big questions for me. I mean, obviously, we all know that they played BU, and it was a 10-5 halftime score with all the starters. So that would win, and BU is a quality team that's always really good in the Patriot League. They're big, they're physical, and they're fast. So I think moving forward, there's just a few question marks for me that I got to see. But offensively, my biggest question mark is what are they going to run? Where are they going to attack on the field? Do they have a downhill dodger? Do they have someone that can break someone off the dodge more than 1 or 2 guys? So they're very deep. Let's be honest. They're very deep. But, how do they use that depth and those superstars?
All right, so we talked about the offensive end of the field. What about the other end of the field? How do you feel about SU's defense this year?
I mean, they always say offense wins games, defense wins championships, Steve. You have a state championship at West. You know that, or was it Ludden? Which one is it? Give me That's right. You're a Catholic school guy. For me, obviously being a D guy, offense wins games, defense wins championships. Like I said, Billy Dwan III, one of the best. Riley Figueres, one of the best cover guys. And the new kid, Grace, who was the former defenseman of the year from RIT, the Canadian. He's solid down low. There's Kakemo up top. And then the biggest thing I see in the playoffs, and I've said it time and time again, is how is your rope unit? Your defensive midfield unit needs to be quality when you hit the playoffs. Kakemo up top. Nick is a great kid. You got Rice, Levine, and Jake Spalina all running in that rotation. So that's going to be essential for them winning. Defensively, between the pipes, I guess Jimmy McCool was phenomenal against BU, so we look probably him to be the clear-cut starter. Now, I have not had that confirmed nor denied, but I would think he's going to be the guy. He played well enough from what I heard. I was away doing a clinic. I wasn't able to get in there and take a peek at the Orange.
All right, this program has not been to a Final Four since 2013. The expectations are there that this is going to be the year. We interviewed Joey Spalina from a Channel 9 perspective about a week or so ago, and he said there are no more excuses. We were young, and then we were figuring out how to win, and then we had some injuries, but the excuses are off the table. They're older now, they're healthy, they know how to win. It's all right there before them. How big of a season is this for the program, for Gary Gait, for everybody involved with SU lacrosse?
Well, first of all, let's comment. What a great young man Joey Spalina is. Am I right on that one? Like a quality kid, right? A really quality kid. It is a massive season right now. Now, I spoke to Gary the other day driving to Watertown to drop off my truck to get to swap cars. And I didn't actually talk to him about Syracuse lacrosse. We just talked about, Gait and all the things he was doing. So I didn't, press him for information. But from an alumni standpoint, this is a huge, huge season. And with the NIL and the way the transfer portal is, it's going to be bigger than you think. So, you either win, get to spots where kids are happy at the end of the year so they don't, decide to leave, or, and then, listen, Syracuse has the greatest lacrosse fans in America. It's a simple concept. You could say whatever. They could say, listen, they live and breathe in the spring with the orange on the lacrosse field. And for that, it's a great community. They'll never truly turn their back on Syracuse. They'll always go to the games. They'll always support. They'll have very much a lot of opinions. We all know that, but it is a massive season, and there's definitely got to be pressure up on the hill when it comes to having a quality year. And man, that schedule is it can hurt you if you let it hurt you.
How about this first opponent? We know John Galloway's down there as the head coach of Jacksonville, and he's done a great job. What do you know, if anything, about this Jacksonville team that's going to be coming here Saturday?
Jacksonville, I got a chance to watch them play a few times, and Coach Galloway's style is always disciplined, just like his West End days. Those kids will attack from the wings. Obviously on paper, I think Syracuse is like a 6 or 7 goal favorite when we have into those types of betting odds, but Jacksonville always has a guy that disrupts things. Like whether they have a great face-off guy, they have a great D guy, great goalie. I mean, let's face it, their goalies are going to be good. They're trained by one of the best goalies that's ever played this sport. He doesn't just pick schleps up off the street to play for him. But I think they'll come in. I don't know if the big question for me is Jacksonville going to walk into the Carrier Dome. I'm sorry, let me say it, the JMA Wireless Dome, guys, and look around and be starstruck? Or are the seats behind the goals going to help when they used to throw goalies off, those dark seats? So I think Jacksonville's certainly not going to roll over. It's going to be an emotional game for John and his crew of players. And, John Galloway, one of the quality guys in the game, whether you're a Syracuse alumnus or not, and he'll have a full crew of that Galloway family, those retired firemen and all of them. They'll be behind there, and they'll be rocking that green and white, rooting for the Dolphins.
Go ahead, Paulie.
Rick, what'd you have for lunch?
You're going to laugh, Paulie, haven't eaten yet. Got stuck working, changed jobs. I'm at BSN running club sports nationally. Club lacrosse nationally. So I honestly haven't. The internet's been down here at the Seamus P. Lyman headquarters here in not too far from you, across the way. I haven't eaten, and I've been thinking about. I got half a cow, Paulie. I got half a cow, and I had a ribeye last night. I had a New York strip for lunch, and I'm thinking about going back home. There's no school, and cooking up those ribs that I got from the cow that I have. So I have not eaten, and I'm disappointed in myself.
I got to do a cow, like a half a cow or a pig or something like that. I've never done meat like that.
Oh, I have. However, a buddy of mine, Guy Hart, hooked it up, and I can't lie to you. It's about, I'm baffled at how great the meat is. It's all prime pretty much. London broil, that's prime. Are you kidding me? So, yes, I have a freezer full of it. And yes, the camera didn't add 20 pounds. It was all the pizza Jersey that added that. So now I'm back here to Syracuse to lose those 20 with a half a cow, Paulie, and you should invest. That and starter jackets should be your thing. And what was it, a Pontiac? What did you have?
I had a Pontiac Sunbird. I had a Jeep Wrangler back then.
What color was it? Red?
No, it was gray.
A gray? That's awful. When you had a Pontiac, you always had, it was the signature color. I have a question for Steve. Steve, what was your car? Because Mr. Infani's a total gweed. He definitely hooked you up with something.
My first car was a black Saturn with a sunroof.
Wow, I wish I made.
I'll be honest.
Money.
You just lost your Italian card. Just change your name.
It was affordable. It was affordable.
Why? Get the Val out of there.
Rick, could you imagine Steven and IROC?
Oh God, I totally. But could you imagine the amount of cologne he would put on?
Oh yeah. What was your cologne, Rick?
Oh, I have
back then.
I know this, but I'm a big cologne guy. I wear Parfums de Marley Leighton, which is, believe it or not, $600 a bottle, and it is well worth compliments all the time on it. I used to wear Prada for a bunch of years. My daughter Angela bought me one for Christmas by myself by Yves Saint Laurent. So, I have the two girls. Obviously, Angela's at Stony Brook, and I root for Stony Brook exclusively here when it comes to women's. But she bought me that. Yes, that is my scent. And my cousin Camille, in her Italian accent, said, "Ricky, women will know you by your scent. So wear something that's smart and good and they like, and not your Carnor." So that's what I got.
There you go. I don't think you were expecting an in-depth answer, but you got it.
Yeah, that's a.
You asked me.
I could buy my cologne 6 times.
Yeah, right, man.
For $600.
That's Ollie?
I wear like Cool Water or Tommy Summer. I'm like stuck in the 80s.
Yes, along with that Pontiac, you would be.
Yeah.
Right. All right, Rick, we got to roll. Great catching up with you. Enjoy the first week of lacrosse, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon. That's our good friend, Rick Beardsley. Real quick on the podcast. You said you want to know the details.
Yeah.
So it's on, you go to a website, athcareer.com, athcareer.com. And it's basically, it's called 5 Tips and Tricks for Careers in Athletics. It's a podcast put together by Jen Albanese and Maury Mosovitz up at SU. They asked me to be on it. You just go to their website. I think it's up there today. I think today's the first day that it's up. We taped it about a month ago. So enjoyed it and
They didn't ask me.
And check it out.
That's shocking.
All right, with that, we'll take a time out. Phone lines open the rest of the way.
I have a job in athletics.
You do. Maybe you'll be. They just started the podcast.
I don't think I'll get the invite.
You might. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
I'm not wearing